What's up, boys? Taking a look at some more NBA player props today over on prizepicks. I also have NFL in today's video because it is an NFL Thursday night. So let's go ahead and hop in and talk about some NBA and NFL. Really short slate today with only one game for both the NFL and the NBA. But let's just hop in and give you guys my favorite player props from both NBA and NFL. This video does apply to prizepicks, but also other player prop websites out there and sportsbooks out there. So this video is pretty much for everyone. But if you are not on prizepicks, I recommend joining it. It's my favorite site of all for anything like really just sports related. So use my code DOMG. If you do go ahead and sign up, you guys can download this off the App Store, or there is a link in my description below. If you guys use my code DOMG, it'll get you a 100% deposit match up to $100 when you do use my code. Let's take a look at the payouts real quick. So if you are interested in joining, pause the video right now and you guys can take a look at the payouts that are on the screen right now. So there's a couple different options if you are trying to win money on prizepicks. I do have a Patreon with all of my plays that I play available. So last night we were 4-2 last night over on the Patreon, 5-2 if you do count the college basketball play, which is included in most of the tiers. So 4-2, 5-2 if you count college basketball. It really should have been a 6-1 day, but you know, some blowouts happen, especially in the later slate. I completely swept the early slate, but those 10 p.m. games just screwed me over with the blowouts really in both of the games, so that kind of sucked. But I do believe that we are in a 9-2 college basketball run, so 9-2, which again is included with most of the tiers. But let's take a look now at the Patreon a little bit more in depth. If you are interested in seeing every single one of my plays, check out the Patreon. The link is down in the description below. There are 3 different tiers. There's NFL, NBA, and all sports. With access to the Patreon, you guys get every single play that I play, on top of these plays being ranked by confidence level and write-ups to go with every single prop that I post. Once again, the link is down in the description below, so check it out. So if you are interested in joining, we have over 500 members. So if you are interested in joining, we have over 500 members right now. The link is down in my description below. If you are interested in joining, again, just 5-2 last night if you include college basketball. Now let's hop in and take a look at these player props here. So we're starting out here with the NBA. So we're starting with the NBA, and I'm actually gonna go to the first half tab. So this is something that's pretty much exclusive to prizepicks, and another reason why I think you should possibly join prizepicks, or at least take a look into it. But I do like this also full game, but I like Luka Doncic over 24.5 PRA. I like him a little bit over the 48.5 full game PRA, but I'm going with the first half pretty much due to the blowout potential in this one, because there is quite a lot of blowout potential in this game right here. So make sure you always tilt your own risk and look at needs a little bit more on your own. But he's on the road here going to Detroit. So he's on the road going to Detroit. Dallas has an 8-point favorite in this one. Over under of 221.5. So I like Luka though to get it done in the first half here to have 25 PRA, which is a very, very steep number. But we're going to dive into this a little bit more. First off, the odds for full game. So he's a -104 to go over 49.5. Otherwise, he's at 48.5 at about a -120, -125 in the sports books. So nothing too crazy there. But if you are on a sports book, I do kind of like this at -120 full game. It's just you got to be worried about the blowout, man, especially with a team like the Mavericks in Detroit. So got to kind of be aware of that a little bit right there. But Luka Doncic first half game log. So you can take a look right here. He's hit this in 6 out of his last 10 games, 3 out of his last 5. But there's a couple different reasons why I do like this. He's hit this in 14 out of 19 games so far this season. 14 out of 19 games this season, he has hit this. So pretty solid hit right there. And if you type in this versus the Pistons, you can take a look and see how he's done in his career against the Pistons. And he's missed this all, or he's hit this in all but one time, which was actually on the hook. He had 24 right there with 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists in that one, which was, I believe, last season or 2 seasons ago right there. But I believe these were both last season. He went over in both of those games with 27 and 32. And we just need 25 this time around in this one. So 4 out of 5 in his last 5 career matchups, or, you know, he's faced them 5 times in his career. So 4 out of 5, 80% hit rate in his career against the Detroit Pistons, and 14 out of 19 this season. I'm liking the hit rates for this prop right here. Odds aren't anything too crazy or anything like that, but I do like the hit rate on this one. You take a look at the matchup as well. So we'll type in point guard here, and the Pistons are allowing the second most points per game to the point guard position. Second most points per game to the point guard position right there. Take a look at the rebounds, and they are still on the easier side. They're kind of in the middle of the pack, actually. 6.05 right there. Rebounds per game to the point guard. Nothing too crazy right there. And then they are on the easier side when it comes to assists. I think that's like top 10-ish. Allowing assists per game to the point guard position right there at 8.81 per game. So I think Luka can get this one done here, dish out some assists, get some points on the board right there for the Detroit Pistons. So I'm liking Luka in this one against Detroit, even on the road. But if you are going to play this one full game, be aware of the blowout potential, of course, right there. So Luka Doncic, I like that one for the first half PRA. Let's move on though and take a look at an NFL player prop here. So as always, tilt your own risk bar, hop over to receiving yards here because there's somewhat of a discrepancy on prizepicks that's actually just gotten bumped. I do still like this at 34.5, but Ramondre Stevenson was at 31.5. Patreon members were able to get him at 31.5. He was on the Patreon for about an hour and a half probably-ish. Ramondre Stevenson at 34.5 receiving yards. He was at 31.5 not too long ago, so they bumped him up by 3 yards here. And there's a couple different reasons for this. So I like Ramondre Stevenson here. So he's a minus 140 to go over 35.5 on DK. So he's juiced over at 35.5, and we're able to get him at 31.5, 34.5 still. I kind of like this right here. So no Damian Harris in this one. There's going to be no Damian Harris. He should be the primary running back, of course, in this one. He's hit this in 4 out of his last 5 games, though. He's hit this in 4 out of his last 5. You can see 59, 72, 10, 56, and 76. And it's the Patriots. They're going against the Buffalo Bills. You would think this game would blow out, so hopefully this game does kind of blow out in this one. That would be kind of nice, but the running back here at home against the Buffalo Bills. So the Bills are 3.5 point favorites, so you'd assume, though, they're going to blow them out, but it is only a 3.5 point spread, so we'll see how this game kind of goes. It is a Thursday night, though, and Thursday night games typically seem to be kind of close and low scoring, but we'll see here. So you can take a look at his game log really all season. He hasn't really gotten too many receiving yards until like as of late. So he's at 8, 7, 3, 6, and 9, but I do like the juice on the over here. The odds are very, very solid for this property here. I liked it a lot more at 31.5, but it is at 34.5 now on prizepicks, so we're able to get a pretty good value before. So let's take a look here at the receiving yards props here and take a look at what the odds are looking like across the board. See if they change it all. So DK still minus 140 to go over 35.5, minus 148 over 35.5, and then FDE right here has him at minus 110 to go over 37.5. So I like the spot for Ramondre here. I think he can definitely get a lot of receptions. His receptions is at 4.5, which I think is a little bit high. I think he can still do this with 4 receptions, although he hasn't really in the past. But he hasn't really landed on 5 at all. But like when he's gotten 6 receptions, he's had 56 receiving yards. So he has missed, though, in times where he's had 4 receptions with like 28, 23 yards, but he's really been getting a lot more yards lately. He's been getting a lot more targets lately as well. So you can see just his average really just kind of skyrocket as of late. Besides the Indianapolis Colts game, that was not a great game for Ramondre, at least in the receiving game right there. But I like him right here without Damian Harris. I think he can definitely get some yards in the receiving game, hopefully, especially if this game does blow out, which I think is possible, even with the spread being only 3.5. But, you know, maybe the Patriots come out and surprise us. The Bills did play down to the Lions level last week, so we'll see how that all goes in this one right here. But yeah, that's pretty much it right there. So that I gave you guys an NBA player prop for the first half, and I give you a receiving yards prop right there, both over on prizepicks. So again, I do like Luka's full game PRA. I should be back tomorrow with another video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, boys. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Have those post notifications on so you guys do not miss future videos. Maybe college basketball video if there is enough value. I might post a video like that, but otherwise, everything that I play should be over on the Patreon. Link is down in my description below. You can use my code DOMG on prizepicks if you are interested in joining. It's available in most states and most Canada. You have to be 18 years or older, but you can get a 100% deposit match up to $100 if you do use my code right there. So just to kind of recap here, Luka Doncic over 24.5 first half PRA. Ramondre Stevenson over 34.5 receiving yards, 31.5 over on the Patreon. And then the Patreon link down in the description below, prizepicks link down in the description below, and also the subscribe button is right down there as well. Tail Tron Risk, and good luck tonight, everybody. Peace out, boys.